ready?
Yeah, go.
Peduncle.
Okay, so with the brain, you start first with the telencephalon, which is the superior region of brain. You have the right and the left hemispheres. The cerebral cortex is the gray matter that's at the surface of the brain. So if you open this up, let's see. Oh yeah, cerebral cortex is the outer pink portion. And then inside of that is the white matter. So this is the gray outer matter, cerebral cortex. And then the big bulges that you see all over, those are the gyri. And the sulci are all of the little grooves that you see in there. And starting with all the different grooves that have names, first you have the, this is the longitudinal fissure, separating the right and the left hemispheres, going front to back. This one that has a straight line going right over the top of the brain, that is the central sulcus. And then on the side here, separating the parietal and temporal lobes, you have the lateral sulcus. And then in the back, between occipital and the cerebrum, or cerebellum, that's going to be the transverse fissure. And with the lobes of the brain, you have frontal lobe, 2 parietal lobes, 2 temporal lobes, and occipital lobe. And if you turn the brain upside down, you have the olfactory bulb here, and that's stemming from the olfactory tract, goes into the olfactory bulb. Okay, so open up the brain. And then you have the diencephalon. Think of the seahorse shape. You have the head right here, the neck, the belly, and then the tail. Starting with the head of the seahorse, this is the diencephalon. You have the thalamus, which is right here at the center. The thalamus is what is surrounding the third ventricle. Okay, right below the thalamus is the hypothalamus, number 21. It's right below there. And then stemming between the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland, you have the infundibulum, which is that white little extension. And right below the hypothalamus as well, number 24, that's the mammillary body. And then right behind the thalamus back here on this side, you have number 23, that is the pineal gland. And again, the third ventricle is right here. The last thing that's on our list for diencephalon is the interventricular foramen. You don't see it on here, but in this little portion that you can see all the ventricles. If you imagine the lateral ventricles are right here, and the third ventricle is right here, that's where the thalamus is. Interventricular foramen is this broken part that's connecting the third and the lateral ventricles. You can see that right here. Interventricular foramen. And then going down from the diencephalon, we have...
You missed the pituitary gland.
Oh, no, pituitary gland is stemming down from the infundibulum.
I missed the pituitary gland.
Yeah. Okay, so right down from the diencephalon, you have mesencephalon. So mesencephalon, you have corpora quadrigemina. So there is 4 of them, quadrigemina. This is just one half of the brain, but you can see 2 of them right here. 1, 2. This is corpora quadrigemina. That's right below the pineal gland. And then you have the cerebral aqueduct, and that is what this little line here that connects the third and the fourth ventricles down here. So cerebral aqueduct is that little line. And then you have the cerebral peduncles, which is going to be on more the lateral side of the brain. It is this textured portion of the brain, number 33. It's just on the side of the pituitary gland. Let's put that back together for reference. Oh, God. Let's just go down from here, because that's all we need. Then going down from the corpora quadrigemina, we have this cerebral aqueduct, this bulging portion, which is the belly of the seahorse. That is the pons, number 36, bulging portion. And then, well, I guess from there we do need to see the cerebellum. So cerebellum is going to be on the side by side, but when it's together, you see the vermis. The vermis is the part that sits up in the brain. This is that bulging portion when the two sides of the cerebellum are up together. That's the vermis. And if you open it up, you see the cerebellar cortex is a superior region, and the white little branching parts, that is the arbor vitae. And then coming down here in the myencephalon, you have medulla oblongata, right below the pons, medulla oblongata, and the fourth ventricle is this that's right here. So third ventricle, cerebral aqueduct down into the fourth ventricle. And the medulla oblongata, it extends down into the rest of your brainstem.
Fourth ventricle that she's pointing at.
Oh yeah, fourth ventricle. That's a good little version of it. Like that.
Okay.
There you go.
Makes sense.